What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, look, couldn't make a video about this yesterday because I was running around in the middle of a KU, University of Kansas, for a bunch of events for this youth athletic program. So thank you for everybody that supports. But I wanted to give my 2 cents on this Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. It's funny how, to me, how I've got to put Eddie Hearn at the front of a conversation where I'm talking about two boxers that I want to see fight. But, you know, there's some articles that came out, and I had already done a video about this article. But for some reason, people interpreting this in some very, very how do you say, indirect messages by Eddie Hearn as justification to assume that the fight between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua is going to be in the UK. Now, Anthony Joshua did say some things where it made me believe that he would like to have this in the UK. And from what I heard of what he said, and again, man, I'm not getting on Anthony Joshua. I'm not getting on him. I'm not, saying anything bad about him. I'm not questioning his willingness to fight until the fight's not made or until they say something where, tell me that a fight has been made with somebody else, right? So, and until I see that, I'm not going to assume that he doesn't want to do it, or I'm not going to say anything bad about the guy. Okay. Now, with this article that I think some people and people that I really do enjoy their channel read, I mean, I felt like, because I had already done a report about this. I mean, and what Barry Hearn didn't say that the fight wasn't going to happen in the UK. What he said was that pretty much that he wants the fight to be in the UK. And then he said something which was directly contradictory of what his son Eddie Hearn said. Right? So it's like, I mean, I'm not quite sure who to believe, right? Well, I know who to believe. I'm going to believe anybody but Eddie Hearn because I done caught the dude lying too many times. But let me go through what was actually said by Barry Hearn again. Said Joshua's really up for being the unified champion of the world, but inevitably the devil is in the detail. There are questions that we are in the process of answering. We have some, and to be fair to the other side, they've come back with answers. We are really talking, and we're about to answer some of the detailed question. And who knows? I never in boxing believe any deal is done until a contract's signed, and I agree with that 100%. I agree with him what Barry Hearn said right there. We are making progress. Joshua is, as always, an integral part of the decision-making process. I pointed out in this part of this article where he's I love how people mince words, man. He's an integral part. He ain't the whole show now. yeah, he can say what he wants, but he ain't the only one over here making decisions. That's what that means to me. Because he's the one that does the fighting, but it's a fight he likes, and it's a fight we like. We're going a long way. We still are a long way to go in terms of detail. But that long way has to be accelerated to get an answer in the next few days or a week's time, simply because we are going to be put under pressure by the WBA. Are you fighting Povetkin for the mandatory? We're being put under pressure because we have a couple stadium venues saying, do you really want us? Where's a contract to sign? Here's a contract to sign. An initial offer of $50 million by Wilder was not accepted by Joshua as His team have sought more details about the deal, and Hearn insists he's capable of delivering a big purse himself to the American champion. We need to have a certain amount of control. We need insurances on certain things, and we need contracts in place, and we need the money up front guaranteed. I've heard a lot of people talk about money in boxing. When we talk about money, we back it up. If Wilder wants to come to the UK, I'll deposit his entire purse in advance to any bank he wants. And it takes me about 5 minutes. I expect the same honesty on the other side, and maybe, hopefully, that is available. But there are a lot of small details which, at the last minute, each of them could be a deal breaker. We're not going to tell you we're close. I'm saying we're on our way, but the clock is ticking and we have to move. Now, this is Barry Hearn, right? He did not say that this fight anywhere in this article. It's Barry Hearn did not say this fight had to be in the UK. But I do find it interesting that he insinuated that he wants to see the $50 million. If Wilder wants to come to the UK, I'll deposit his entire purse in advance to any bank he wants, and it takes me about 5 minutes. I expect the same honesty on the other side, and hopefully we can make hopefully that is available. Isn't that proof of funds? Isn't that saying we want to see the whole purse if we're going to go to the United States? That is him talking about the fight being in the United States. See, you have to actually, you might have to do a little bit of 1 + 1 = 2. You might have to think about it a little bit, but that's what he's saying means. If Wilder comes to the UK, first there's an if. If he comes to the UK, I'll deposit his entire purse in advance to any bank he wants. It'll take me 5 minutes is irrelevant. Okay, I expect some honesty, the same honesty on the other side. You expect what's the same honesty that if you flip that would mean the honesty on the other side would mean that he expects the same thing out of Deontay Wilder's team as he just mentioned here, which is that they would deposit the entirety of Anthony Joshua's purse into a bank. That is requesting proof of funds. That is asking for the money to be put in escrow. The bank is the escrow. There's going to be an account, right, that they're going to sign and say, okay, we can send it to a bank in Chicago. We can send it to a bank in New York. We can send a bank in, Alabama. Wherever you feel comfortable, we'll wire that money and we'll put it in an escrow account because I'm not just going to pay you. You don't show up and I got to find a way to get my money back. He's talking about an escrow account. He has to be, right? And he's also saying, if that's the truth, we would expect that means they're negotiating still. Barry Hearn is saying they're negotiating still. That's what that says to me. They need a guarantee, right? Isn't that what they say? He says up here. We need the money up front, guaranteed. This is what Barry Hearn says. We need to have a certain amount of control. We need assurances on certain things. We need contracts in place. We need the money up front, guaranteed. Okay, and then he proceeds to say that he needs the bank. That if Wilder would come to the UK, Barry Hearn would put his money in an escrow account. But here he's saying we need the money up front guaranteed. So he's talking about a deal that they're still talking about. And the deal that they must be talking about, what deal could it possibly be that Barry Hearn needs guaranteed? Needs the money up front, needs the money guaranteed. It's not going to be for Deontay Wilder to come to the UK. Why would Deontay Wilder guarantee Anthony Joshua's purse for a fight in the UK? He wouldn't. So sometimes when we read these things, we just got to read and do some thinking. This fight, more than likely, is this negotiation is going on for the UK. I mean, for the United States. And then, practically speaking, man, there's no way in the world Anthony Joshua is going to get $50 million guaranteed in the UK and still be able, 36 million pounds in the UK, and they still be able to pay Deontay Wilder. Unless they're saying, look, Anthony Joshua, we want you to take less money than what we're offering you to fight in the US. And Deontay Wilder, we want you to take less money than what you would be getting paid in the United States. That's what they're asking. They're asking for both fighters to take less money so that they can have the fight in the UK for the sake of the venues. For the sake of the venue. And to avoid, and because of one of the belts that are on the line, one of the 4 belts on the line. Like the WBA is going to say, oh no, we're going to strip Anthony. No. We don't want them sanctioning fees. They're going to come along with that fight over that $100 million fight being in the US. We don't want that. We want you to fight Povetkin or we're going to strip you. No. And if it happens, let it happen. If I'm Anthony Joshua and that's the risk, let it happen. But that ain't going to happen. But that is not going to happen. But let's go on to the other reason why people thought this thing was going to be in the UK, which to me is pure D comedy. Pure comedy. Eddie Hearn puts an emoji of the Union Jack or the British flag on Twitter or Instagram or wherever it was. I saw a video about it. And somebody asked Eddie Hearn, somebody in the comment section asked Eddie Hearn, oh, does that mean that the fight for Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder are going to be in the UK? And Anthony Joshua says 100. And somebody went and ran with that. What does that mean? Seriously, man, seriously, the lengths that some people will go that people will go to try to make Eddie Hearn win. I don't even think sometimes people care about boxing. They just want their guy to win. And I can understand. I understand that human emotion, right? I have it. Sometimes, hey, I just really want my guy to win. All right? But, hey, man, when the dude is laid out, face down flat, right, on the mat, in the ring, you can't bring that back, man. You got to say, dang, my dude got knocked out, Like I remember watching Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao. And although people were really, really, really irritating me with all this, Chocolatito / Vasily Lomachenko / GGG type of treatment that Manny Pacquiao was getting at the time, I couldn't stand. I just couldn't stand it, but I'm still a Manny Pacquiao fan. I like Manny Pacquiao when Manny Pacquiao was with Murat Muhammad. I like Manny Pacquiao from the first time I saw the dude fight. I was like, oh, I like this guy. Nice guy, really energetic, just seems like a good dude. Some of it might be, his persona, public persona. But at that time, I mean, at the time that I saw Manny Pacquiao or first, became aware of Manny Pacquiao, he hadn't had time to do that. So I was still rooting for him. And Juan Manuel Marquez, when he jumped in there and Juan Manuel Marquez hit him with that counter right hand, and laid him flat, like, and they made all them emojis of Manny Pacquiao sleeping. As much as I like Manny Pacquiao, I can't make that go away. It's there. Now, this is kind of the same thing. Now, the fight's still going on between Eddie Hearn and Deontay and Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman, right? That fight's still going on. However, you just saw your dude get hit with a monster hook from out of left field when they drop a $50 million guarantee on him. And now I think it's very fair to say, and shout out to my man Black Fight Fan TV, I think it's very fair to say that Eddie Hearn is trying to do his absolute best to save face. They're definitely going to try to find a way to keep Anthony Joshua in the UK and not have him come to the United States, because what they really want to do is they want to come to the United States. Matchroom Boxing and Matchroom USA wants to come to the United States on their own terms. And they don't want to be forced to bring Anthony Joshua over here before they're ready to do it, because they're very planned out people. Very, very systematic, they think out what they're doing, and that's how they run a business, and that's how they've been successful. But still, it's the offer from a business perspective is so much over the top and is so much more than they're able to counter, that anybody looking at this thing, especially Anthony Joshua's team, close family, daddy, mama, his daddy, his mama, his baby. I know he got a little daughter or somebody, right? I don't remember if it was a son or a daughter, but little baby, he'd be like, Daddy, take the money, Daddy. Take the money, Daddy. We ain't stupid, so you can stop getting punched in the face. Take the money, dummy, so you can stop getting punched in the face. That is the easiest line to sell him on this deal. Anthony Joshua, take the money, man. Just take the money. Take the money and come to the United States. Now, on the other side of it, the boxing side of it, that's why I'm not going to get on Anthony Joshua, because I don't believe this dude is in a situation where he might be trying to figure it out. And again, I had a good conversation with Black Fight Fan TV about this. So I want to definitely acknowledge the thought of Black Fight Fan TV. It's like, hey man, the dude's trying to bounce, Anthony Joshua's trying to find a way to make it work. Like, how can this work in the UK? What will the money be in the UK? Right? How can this happen? Can they guarantee this money and still get the US pay-per-view? Right? How can we do this? But the fact of the matter is that you really can't do it. You're trying to fit an elephant, trying to have that guaranteed money in a fight in the UK, where you're going to get guaranteed from Deontay Wilder's team $50 million, and you're still able to pay Deontay Wilder enough money where he's willing to come over and risk his belt overseas. Because that's the other side. Deontay Wilder's a champion. Deontay Wilder has a belt. Deontay Wilder's a WBC heavyweight champion. There's got to be something in it for him to risk his championship by going overseas. Anthony Joshua's not the only one with that risk. They both have that same risk. That if I lose, I'm no longer a champion. You lose, it's not like Anthony Joshua's fighting for one belt and he gets to keep two. Or Deontay Wilder's going to fight a non-title, or this is going to be a non-title fight where the WBC belt's not on the line. So it's got to be something for it's got to be something for Deontay Wilder to do this as well. And that, I think, definitely for people that are fans of the situation and really rooting for Eddie Hearn to win, right, won't readily acknowledge. And Eddie Hearn definitely doesn't acknowledge that Deontay Wilder is a major piece of this puzzle, an equal piece of this puzzle, because it takes two people in a boxing ring to make a fight. And Anthony Joshua ain't going to be in a fight anywhere near this without Deontay Wilder. And likewise for Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Now, Anthony Joshua might make more money will make more money on fights other than that because of the UK. But look, man. Anyway, man, trying to fit this fight in the UK is like trying to trying to have an elephant in your basement, man. It's going to tear your root. It's just not going to fit, man. You're not going to get that elephant down that stair. Okay. So anyway, it is what it is with that. I'm out. Peace.